Dear Jalen and Cacie, I'm currently dating a man 3 years younger than me. I'm 30 and he's 27. I do like him and his personality and heart. However, I just have a problem because of his younger age. I find it difficult to submit and accept his authority as a man and leadership, as quoted in the Bible. Especially when we get in an argument, in my head, I just think about the fact that he's 3 years younger than me, and it's hard for me to accept that. My question to you is, how do you handle arguments? And for Cacie, what did you do to accept his leadership and authority as a man, since that is what the Bible tells us? Basically, how do you accept submission to a younger man? Sincerely, Joelle. First of all, I think you're focusing on the wrong thing. 3 years is not a lot of age difference, at least not to us at all, especially when we're like 11 years.
Incidentally, I am 27, same as your man.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to make you feel bad for how you feel about it, because it's a legitimate feeling, a legitimate concern, and I get it. But I really think you're focused on the wrong thing here. Like, 3 years is not a lot of time. I mean, literally, what were you doing at 3 years old when he was born? Like,
or what have you experienced at 30 that is so far beyond what he's experienced at 27?
Exactly. What makes you feel like you're more mature than he is in some areas? And I think as women, we really have to get out this mentality, because we've been taught over the years, all our lives, that women are more mature than men, and that, you know, men are like far behind us when it comes to maturity and stuff like that. And, you know, in some cases that may seem to be the thing, but really and truly, how I was able to submit to Jalen's leadership as a man, because he was a man. Simple as that. He's mature, and not just because of his age, but because of the time and diligence he put into maturing as a man of God. And that's what I trust. I'm not lowering myself to try to submit to him. I'm not dumbing down what I know and things like that, to be with him or to make him feel like he's just all this special whatever. No, I'm still Cacie and he's Jalen, and we work together because we respect one another, we honor one another, and we're not selfish. And I never in no way ever lord over him the fact that I'm older than him, because being older don't make me wiser, it doesn't make me smarter or anything like that. That's a myth. It really is. Now, there might be some things that I've done before him because I got here before he did, but it doesn't make me wiser just because I'm older.
Here's the thing. The reason you're having trouble submitting to him is not because of his age. It's because you don't respect his opinions on the matters that you're arguing about. The age is just the excuse that you can use. And again, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but I'm just legitimate here. Is the excuse for why you don't have to listen to him or why his opinions are not valid. But if he was your same age or older and you still didn't like his opinions, you'd have to come up with some other reason why it doesn't work. He would just be the wrong man. You are evidently a strong-willed person. There's nothing wrong with that. But one thing I noticed that you kept saying is submission and authority, like the Bible says, like the Bible quotes. Submission is not a revelation to you yet. It's just something the Bible says. You understand something you're supposed to do, but you don't understand how to do it because you don't understand it yet. I encourage you to watch a short series we did called The Art of Submission. It was 2 videos, and it's helped a lot of people understand in marriage what submission is. We understand that submission is voluntary. It's not subjugation. It's not man lording over a woman. What makes a man, you said the reason it's easy to submit to me without age being a factor is because I was a man. What makes a man is his ability to hear from God. If a man's supposed to love his wife as Christ loved the church, his model is to be like Christ, who only ever did what he saw his father do and say what he heard his father say. Jesus was in perfect relationship with God. Adam was in perfect relationship with God. They spoke to God often. So whether or not you can submit to this man, whatever his age is, has more to do with his ability to hear from God than anything else. So are you confident in his ability to hear from God? Well, that's a man, and that's someone you can marry. But that's something you're going to have to determine and be able to see and know with any man, no matter what age he is. Otherwise, you're going to leave this man, break up with him, go find a man that's your age, and still have this problem all over again.
And I also say, listen, if 3 years is your hang up, then maybe an age gap relationship is not for you. And just be honest. Be honest. Don't suffer in a situation because you're trying to be this good Christian person or whatever. Don't suffer. If being 3 years apart is really hard for you, then just bow out gracefully, because don't do him any harm by not being able to submit to him or listen to him or respect him or whatever. Like, just get out of it. Like, seriously.
Yeah. And I don't think your problem is submission problem. It's more a communication problem, because to be able to respect another person's argument or listen to what they have to say, that's something that you have to be able to do to a coworker. Because there's submission to authority, and then there's submission in a conversation.
Yeah.
Just the ability to listen to someone else's point of view, understand when they're right and when you're wrong. You have to do that with coworkers. You got to do that with siblings. You do it with parents, bosses, political leaders, whatever. It's everywhere. So it's more of a communication issue than anything. But you are going to need to understand submission if you are ever going to do it whenever you.
And one thing I learned, that God made male and female to work together.
Yeah.
He made them to be attracted to one another.
Yeah.
And there was never an age gap situation. Because honestly, if you think about it, in the garden, I'm not to get too deep here, but we really don't know how long the time span between Adam being created and then Eve coming on the scene. We don't know how long that really was. Maybe somebody know, but it's not really spelled out. It could have been 10 years later. We don't know. I'm just saying. So that would have been an age gap, right? You know what I'm saying? So Adam was like, well, you're not my equal because you was created after me. No, that's not how God works. And everybody has exception to the rule. Jalen was just one of them guys that was mature because he put the time in to develop as a man.
And in that time, that development was my prioritizing my relationship with God.
Yeah, exactly.
I could hear from God very well.
And I trust that.
Yeah, and that's what she was able to submit to. When you submit to a man, what you're really submitting to is God, because God is speaking to that man, and that man has submitted to God, who has given him a vision, and that man presents a vision to you and says, I would like you to be my wife to help me achieve this vision that God gave me. So it's really God's vision, and if you choose to submit to me, you're really submitting to this vision, which is really submitting to God.
And maybe your issue is control, because I've talked about this before on this channel, is that I used to have issues with control, and allowing God to use you as my husband to lead our family, and I had to learn how to take my hands off and not feel like I had to micromanage everything. And when I stopped doing that, I began to rest and be at peace and trust God that he would take care of me through all of this. And he has, and he continues to do that. And I love my husband. And we don't even think about this whole age thing. It only comes up when you guys ask questions. And so that's how God does it when we are both working together. We submit to one another. We respect one another. And it's never, for us, it's not a battle.
There's no power struggle, because again, God gave me a vision. She bought into that vision. That vision involves cultivating her becoming the full, powerful woman of God that God designed her to be. Within this vision, there is no place of her being lower than me. She has input. She has opinion. She has advice. She has instruction. God speaks to her just like God speaks to me. I think people read the Bible and miss when there was women who went to God one-on-one and talked to him. We had like that didn't happen. That happened several times.
And it's still happening today.
Rebecca went to God and asked about the twins that were in her womb. You had Deborah, who was a judge. You had all these different situations. You have prophetesses in the New Testament. So it's not like men are a gateway between women and their ability to hear from God. God set up a structure in which the man is the head of the household, which means he protects the household, provides for the household, shields the household, is responsible for the spiritual maturity and development of what goes on in that household, the wife and the children. God looks at him first, just like he went to Adam first and said, what happened in this garden? He went to him first. Why? He was the leadership. That didn't make Eve lower than Adam. It made Adam responsible. Headship, leadership, submission means the man is responsible for everything that goes on in that household.
And it has nothing to do with his age.
Yeah.
Especially 3 years.
So I really didn't mean to give a lesson on submission. Go watch the series Art of Submission. But a lot of people get it wrong and they're struggling like, well, how do I submit? How do I submit? And it's like, okay, it's not that deep. It really isn't that deep. It really isn't. You just got to understand it. Once you get the revelation and it clicks, it's real easy to work together because you got to operate as partners. She's not my employee. She is my quote unquote business partner. Am I the head of this company? Yes. But we are equal partners. We got equal shares in this. She has just as much investment as I do. She is just as interested in this business succeeding as I am.
You didn't say that he was a bad guy. It sounded like you like him and he's a good guy, whatever. And if your issue is that when y'all get in an argument, I revert to, he don't know what you're talking about because he's 3 years younger than me. That issue is with you.
Yeah.
It's not him. It's you. And you need to work on you. And if you want to be with this man, you had to surrender that. Because when we got together, I had to surrender that. I said, because it was a real question. I said, listen, is our age gap going to be a problem? I'm a strong-willed person. I'm a very strong, opinionated person. He knows that. But I had to come to grips and say, I would never, ever take this and say I'm better or I'm this, whatever, because I'm older than you. It never comes up.
but you chose voluntarily to submit because I presented myself as a man with a vision from God who could hear from God, and you trusted that. Any man you choose, whether this man or another one, if he presents that, then he's a good option. Yeah. If not, then no, don't submit to him, don't marry him, because you're going to end up destroying yourself.
Exactly.
So those are things to consider, but go watch that series. I think it'll be helpful to you. Hopefully answer your question. Thank you so much for submitting it. We hope it answered everything you needed. We love you guys. Go to our website, jalenandcacie.com. Click Dear Jalen and Cacie to submit your question. Or you can also book a one-on-one session with us for a fee so that you can talk with us on a Zoom call, get your questions answered, and get direct advice for your situation. We love you guys. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We'll see you next time.